Good day, students. Welcome to yet another wonderful session of learning with Prepclass. As you can see, I am super excited because whenever it's time for us to learn together, I am always excited. Now, in today's video, we will be answering questions 6 to 10 from the WAEC English 2020 past questions. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also like and comment as we go along in this video. So, without wasting much time, question 6 reads. Now, before we proceed to answering the question, the instruction remains the same like in the previous video where we have to select the word that has the opposite meaning to the underlined word in the sentence. And at the same time, that word has to correctly occupy the position of the blank space in the sentence. So, question 6 read. The principal chastised Ben for his use of coarse language and advised him to emulate his sister's behavior. Remember, we have to select the word that has the opposite meaning to the meaning of the underlined word. The underlined word in this sentence is coarse. Now, the options we have are pure, neat, refined, and organized. Now, the first thing to do is to define the word coarse. Now, the word coarse has numerous meanings such as harsh, rough, vulgar, and rude. But in this context of use, the word coarse most appropriately means rude and vulgar. So, the answer to this question is refined. The principal chastised Ben for his use of coarse language and advised him to emulate his sister's refined behavior. Now, the word refined means to be very polite. This is the opposite of being rude and vulgar. When you make use of coarse language, you make use of rude expressions, vulgar expressions. But when you are refined, you are polite. So the principal chastised Ben for his use of coarse language and advised him to emulate his sister's polite behavior, his sister's refined behavior. It is not pure, because pure means to be uncontaminated. Now, coarse does not mean what? To be impure. It is not neat, because neat means to be without stain or to be in a tidy way. This is not the opposite of coarse. It is not organized, because organized means to be arranged properly. Now, this is not the opposite of coarse, because coarse does not mean to be disorganized. The answer to this question is refined. The principal chastised Ben for his use of coarse, for his use of rude language, and advised him to emulate his sister's polite, his sister's refined behavior. So very quickly moving on to the next question, we have question 7, and it reads, "It would have been my pleasure to accept your invitation, but I have to dash it because of a previous engagement." Remember, the instruction states that we have to select the word that means the opposite of the underlined word and will at the same time occupy the blank space in the sentence. Now, the underlined word in this sentence is accept. It would have been my pleasure to accept your invitation, but I have to dash it because of a previous engagement. Now, the options we have are jettison, defer, suspend, and decline. The first thing to do is to define the word accept. Now, the word accept means to consent to receive or agree to something. Now, it would have been my pleasure to agree to your invitation, to consent to your invitation, but I have to decline it because of a previous engagement. Decline is the opposite of accept. Now, if you decline, it means to politely refuse something. To politely refuse something. This is the opposite of accept. Now, look at this sentence. It would have been my pleasure to accept your invitation, but I have to politely refuse because of a previous engagement. I have to decline it because of a previous engagement. Now, it is not jettison, because jettison means to throw or to drop, either from a ship or from a plane, or to reject an idea. It is not defer, because defer means to put off or to postpone something. Now, this is not the opposite of accept. It is not suspend, because suspend means to temporarily prevent from continuing or being in force or effect. What we have in that screen there that is blocked is continuing. So suspend means to temporarily prevent from continuing or being in force or effect. This is not the opposite of accept. The opposite of accept is decline. It would have been my pleasure to accept your invitation, but I actually have to decline it because of a previous engagement. Please bear with me. So, Decline is the opposite of accept. Moving on to the next question, we have question number 8, and it reads, I accidentally stepped on my brother, but he told mommy I did it dash. I accidentally stepped on my brother, but he told mommy I did it dash. Remember, we had said we would have missed the opposite of the underlined word and will at the same time occupy the blank space in the sentence. The underlined word here is accidentally. So which of these options is the opposite of accidentally? The options we have are thoughtfully, intuitively, deliberately, and unknowingly. The first thing to do is to define the word accidentally. Now, the word accidentally means it didn't happen on purpose. It wasn't done intentionally. I did not intentionally step on my brother. I accidentally stepped on my brother, but he told mommy I did it deliberately. Deliberately is the opposite of accidentally. Now, the word deliberately means something that is done intentionally. Something that is done on purpose. Remember, accidentally means something that is not done on purpose or something that is not done intentionally. But deliberately means something that is done intentionally or on purpose. This is the opposite of accidentally. Now, it is not thoughtfully, because thoughtfully means to involve a thought process. Maybe you are doing something and you have to think about it before going on that thing or before doing that thing. So, thoughtfully means to involve a thought process. It is not intuitively, because intuitively means having the ability to understand or know something without any direct evidence or reasoning process. So we have two means there, so it's just a typo. Intuitively means having the ability to understand or know something without any direct evidence or reasoning process. Like the ability to do something without even thinking about it, like it just comes to you naturally, intuitively. This is not the opposite of accidentally. It's not annoyingly, because annoyingly means doing something in a way to cause annoyance or irritation. Now, this is not the opposite of accidentally. Accidentally means something that is not done on purpose, something that is not done intentionally. The answer to this question is deliberately. Deliberately means something that is done intentionally on purpose. This is the opposite of accidentally. So, I accidentally stepped on my brother, but he told mommy I did it deliberately. So, the answer to this question is deliberately. Moving on to the next question, which is question number 9, and it reads, older people are expected to be dash where youths are green. Remember, we have to select the word that means the opposite of the underlined word and will at the same time occupy the position of the blank space in the sentence. The underlined word here is green. So the options we have are experienced, cautious, equipped, and considerate. So, which of these options is the opposite of green? The first thing to do is to define the word green. Now, in this context of use, green does not refer to the color, a green color, no. Now, in this context of use, the word green means to have little or no experience. When you say somebody is green, the person has little or no experience about something. So the answer to this question is experienced. Older people are expected to be experienced where youths are green. Remember, green means to have little or no experience. Now, the word experienced means having gained knowledge or skill in a particular field over time. Now, older people, as a result of their age, are expected to have gained knowledge, are expected to have been experienced, where youths are green, where youths are inexperienced because of their age. Now, it is not cautious, because cautious means to be careful or to avoid potential problems or dangers. It is not equipped, because equipped means to be prepared with everything needed. It is not considerate, because considerate means being careful not to inconvenience or harm others or showing careful thought. This is not the opposite of green. Green means having little or no experience. So older people are expected to be experienced where youths are green. Experienced means having gained knowledge or skill in a particular field over time. This is the opposite of green. So the answer to this question is experienced. older people are expected to be experienced, where youths are green. Now moving on to the next question, which is the last question for this video, question number 10. It reads, the audience applauded the last speaker, but the first was dash. Remember, we have to select the word that means the opposite of the underlined word and will at the same time occupy the position of the blank space in the sentence. The options we have are booed, rejected, abused, and scorned. The first thing to do is to define the word applauded. Now, to applaud means to show approval for by clapping. To applaud means to show approval for by clapping. Like going to a show and watching a very wonderful performance and you are just so impressed. You are like applauding the performer like, wow, you are very, very awesome. That is beautiful. That is wonderful. That you are applauding. You are showing approval for by clapping. Now, the answer to this question is boo. Now, if you do not applaud, you are booing. Boo. So, the audience applauded the last speaker, but the first speaker was boo. That is, you did not enjoy the performance. You boo. So, the opposite of applauded is boo. It is not rejected. Now, the word boo means to make an expression of strong disapproval or disagreement. To make an expression of strong disapproval or disagreement, like, oh, what are you doing? Boo! That is how to boo. It is the opposite of applaud. It is not rejected because rejected is the opposite of accepted and not applaud. It is not abused because abused means to be treated with cruelty or to use negative words on someone. The opposite of abuse is to compliment. This is not the opposite of applauded. It is not scorned because scorned means to be ridiculed or to be laughed at. The opposite of scorned is to admire or respect. Applauded means to show approval for by clapping. Booed means to make an expression of strong disapproval or disagreement. So this is the opposite of applaud. The audience applauded the last speaker, but the first was booed. So that is the answer to this question. And with that, we've come to the end of this wonderful video. Please do not forget to like and comment on this post. Also subscribe to our channel. Do not forget to share this content with your friends and loved ones. Thank you for your time. See you very soon. My name remains Mr. Olaliko Israel. Enjoy the rest of your day.